You know, I really like tea.
So yesterday, GTA Online received a 1GB patch for the PC version. And after some people looked into it, it turns out that this is basically adding in the content from GTA 5 expanded and enhanced. Now, the actual content has not been enabled in the game quite yet. It's just been added to the files. So the content is there, it's just simply disabled. And while there's no word on when it will actually be enabled and the game will receive the new update officially, I'd speculate that it will most likely roll out in about 1 to 2 weeks, after the internal testing is completed. Now, for the console community, this was actually quite a big step up, because they didn't have options like 4K display, 60 FPS, none of that. Now initially, my theory was that they were going to just backport the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 5 onto the new consoles, tweak a few things, and call it a day. Boom, new edition, right? Now right before it came out, like a couple of weeks beforehand, there were some screenshots floating around the internet that suggested that they added a lot more stuff. More foliage, better textures, better viewing distances, some actual improvements up and above the PC version. But then it actually came out, and in some cases, it's not even on par. But then in other cases, yeah, there are a few different tweaks and improvements. For one, waves and splashes in the water are a lot more billowy now. If you shoot at the water with your gun or you throw in a grenade, the waves are going to splash much higher and they're going to be a lot more wide and thick looking. Similarly, with smoke from an exploded vehicle, you're going to see it's a lot more billowy. I really need to find a different adjective, but that one just really describes it well. Another really cool thing they seem to have improved is the shattering of glass in windshields when being shot at with guns. The windshields seem to have a lot more complex layers of cracks going through them, much as it is in real life. And now you also see little pieces of glass sitting there in the hood. It's a small improvement, but a cool one all the same. And as far as graphical improvements go, that's basically it. But Cash, you're saying, I heard there was ray tracing and extended and enhanced. What about the ray tracing? Well, it turns out, ray tracing in this game is only sort of a half-truth. There's a sort of ray tracing technology, but it's really only used just to enhance the realisticness of shadows. As far as like impressive lighting, like actual proper ray tracing, well, that's just not present. And it seems like a lot of people are having trouble spotting the difference.
Ray tracing is a lighting technique that can create stunning effects for reflections, refractions, shadows, and more. Typically, studios implement ray tracing to take advantage of several of these features. Can you tell the difference between GTA 5 and GTA 5 with ray tracing? It should be a pretty obvious improvement, but at a glance, you'd be hard-pressed to tell any difference. Rockstar seems to be using the buzzword ray tracing simply as a marketing technique. It's no wonder that it was only offhandedly mentioned in a Newswire post. It clears up a lot of the confusion about why they didn't advertise ray tracing in the expanded and enhanced trailers. Refunds should be honored for customers who are expecting ray tracing to be properly implemented. You can't say your game has ray tracing, knowing what that entails to the general audience, and then use a technicality to half-ass your way into earning its prestige.
Call me crazy, but in this scene right here, performance mode looks better than performance ray tracing, and it looks pretty much exactly the same as fidelity mode. Well, the card reflection is a bit higher quality in fidelity mode, but that's pretty much it. Not really worth the halved frame rate, if I do say so myself. And about this ray tracing, let's see just how effective it is, shall we? Ray tracing? Hello? You there? Where's the ray tracing?
As far as new content, there's a few new vehicles, a new shop, some races, etc. There's also a new main menu, hooray, career builder, which is a thing for new players. Returning players won't be able to use this, at least not without resetting their character. It's a feature primarily for new players to give them a head start in operating a business. They can choose one of either like a CEO office, a bunker business, a nightclub, a motorcycle gang, and then they get $4 million of startup capital. I feel like this in particular further cements the move we've seen of GTA Online from starting off as a petty criminal and working your way up to something more of a criminal empire building MMO light game. About the only other change that's worth mentioning is that this update will also remove the cross-dressers from spawning out in front of the Cockatoo Club. Because reasons. Now, I want to clear up a little misconception that I've seen floating around, often repeated by misinformed but supposedly well-meaning games journalists, about the update, the expanded enhanced update, being paid DLC for PC players. This is absolutely wrong. There is nothing significant enough in this update to entice PC players to spend an extra $15, $10, or even $5 on the game. And if they were going to do that, they wouldn't have added the files to everybody's games with this last update, now would they? So yeah, if you were curious about whether or not the expanded and enhanced features were going to come to the PC version, rest assured that they are on the way, and you're not going to pay. Also, a few other misconceptions I'd like to clear up. The update will not add support for DirectX 12, it will not add an anti-cheat or dedicated servers, and it won't fix the really messed up mirror reflections on cars. All of these would be very nice and welcome additions to be sure, but they won't be included, at least not in this update. So yeah, that's it for my video. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this update? Are you looking forward to it? Are you dreading it? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you think I'm full of it, feel free to leave a dislike. Subscribe so you can get notified the next time I stream San Andreas Definitive Edition.
Now, of course, there's it. Guys, I found the magical flying car. It's gonna fly us up the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. See, I told you. Oh! Cool. That's neat. It makes babies.
Thank you all again for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, Cass Gaming, and I will see you all at the top.
You can look, but no try before you buy. That was a disaster.